And we're live. 5:32, not too bad. You've been sitting on your butt, feeling like a weenie, but now it's 5:30. It's time for a martini. Welcome to our show. Welcome to our Kiki, the 5:30
Quarantini. Brought to you by Husbands.
Brought to you by Husbands. You're getting very creative with your taglines, Dill.
Thank you. I think about it when you say Queenie, Quarantini, and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to say something.
Well, you know what? We're only 74 episodes in. You'll get it one day.
Maybe tomorrow, lucky 75.
Maybe tomorrow. Hello. Happy Thursday. Happy hour. How's your day, Dills?
My day's great. I've spent most of it watching Hello Dolly on Disney Plus.
Hello Dolly. Wait, which Hello Dolly's on Disney Plus?
With the Barbra Streisand, of course.
Wait, I heard you kind of talking about this while we were setting up, and I didn't realize that that's what was going on.
Yep.
Oh my God, I just got so excited.
Put on your Sunday clothes when you feel down and out.
Every time I hear the sound of a door slam, my brain goes to out there. Every time.
They do that in the movie too. It's perfect.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Our guests today, it's another double trouble day here at the 5:30 Quarantini.
I'm obsessed with these double troubles.
I know. You've been excited all day. We've both been excited all day. But Dylan woke up and texted me. It was like, today's the day. Today's the day.
I was like, it's Rosemary Simple Syrup. That's all I've written on any form of social media today. It's just Rosemary Simple Syrup.
I think I'm the only one here currently, says Lonnie. Great. Hello, Lonnie. We're glad you're here. Oh, never mind. Not anymore. Great. No, we got people are arriving. Dylan and I, this is what we call stretching. This is what we call killing time while people get here.
Yeah.
And now that there's a group, now we can bring on our guests.
Oh, thank God, because I'm so thirsty. I'm still having coffee, and that needs to end.
Oh my God. I have my empty cup right here. You guys, both of our guests today are theater community dynamos. They are two powerhouses apart and one powerhouse together, and I didn't write this in advance, so this is just how we feel.
That's great. I like when he just comes.
Yeah, they end up being really, really genuine when they just come from the heart. He is. They're both going to be he's, so figure it out, you guys. He is an actor, producer, host extraordinaire, host of the Beltras Power Hour, host of MT Trivia. You may have seen him in a million shows that he's done, and then he is also a former performer, now casting director extraordinaire, host of MT Trivia.
And fellow blonde. They are dog dads and gentlemen about town. We're so excited to have them. Please welcome to the show, Christopher and Kevin Metzger-Timson. Hi, boys.
We are theater community. We are theater community dynamos, and we are also community theater dynamos.
I love that. I remember something that you might not know, Michael, but the community theater is similar for Christopher and I. We did a bunch of shows together, including Starmites.
It is. Oh my God, Starmites! 80s musical. Oh, we fight for the right and unite to be free.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. And I still have my Starmites blue jacket as well.
Oh my God, I love it.
We just said last night on MT Trivia, those of us that didn't have the pleasure of growing up in the Long Island community theater world, it's a dream that is only hope to be attained someday.
Yeah, I think John Battigalise said he was like, in my next life, I want to be born in Long Island musical theater, community theater star. Is what he said.
It's true. It was fun while it lasted, Christopher.
I did grow up on Long Island doing theater, but I somehow missed the cool kid Long Island theater circuit, and I've never gotten over it. I was in Manhasset, where there's trees and grass, but no one fun. Lexi Dorset Sharp is here. Hello.
Yes. The stars are with us.
The stars are here, you guys. Just so everybody knows, before we go any further, welcome. If you are joining us for the first time, since we've moved from Instagram, we no longer can tell that you're here unless you comment. So we don't see you when you arrive. So if you want us to know you're here, if you want us to be able to shout you out or tease you or show you a little bit of love, just make sure you comment so we know you're here. Mm-hmm. And I think that's all we have to say for housekeeping before we get
into this deliciousness drink.
Rosemary Simple Syrup time.
Oh my God. You have no idea. I made this much Rosemary Simple Syrup.
You are stocked for the night at least.
I'm stocked for the night.
I can't wait.
Are we ready? You ready?
I think so. I think I have everything I need here, but will you just remind me just so I can make sure that I've got everything within arm's reach?
Here's your checklist. If you want to be joining us in making this cocktail, you are going to need gin. Whatever your gin is of choice, you're going to need 1 lemon. You're going to need 1 egg white.
Just the egg white.
Just the egg white, not the yolk.
We don't want a yolky.
Look at that little ramekin. Where'd you steal that ramekin from, Michael?
Sur la table.
You are going to need your Rosemary Simple Syrup or just regular simple syrup if you haven't prepared like Dylan and Michael and we have.
Club soda.
Club soda. We're using a blackberry spindrift today just to like really like, nudge it up, but
a soda stream works.
Is killing it.
And then garnish. We're garnishing today with sprigs of rosemary and lemons that we dipped in sugar so they would sporkle.
And paper straws.
Oh my God,
you didn't say your lemon was dipped in sugar.
Oh no. Well, the sugar kind of absorbed it, so now we kind of have like candied lemons. We'll see how it turns out.
So
we're making rosemary gin fizz.
Yes, fizz.
Okay, should you describe and I'll do.
Okay, great. Kevin has bartending experience, so we're gonna let him do the hands-on. Okay, so you're gonna start off with an empty cocktail shaker, no ice, right? This is very crucial. You're going to take your shot glass or whatever you're measuring with. You want 2 ounces of gin.
So that's 2 shots.
We are making a double batch because there are 2 of us together.
Ooh, this is gonna be a lot of gin.
So we're gonna use 4, but you use 2. What gin are you guys using?
Aviation gin.
The official gin of the 530 Quarantini, Aviation gin.
Aviation. I didn't know you had an official.
Oh my God,
we're sponsored.
We didn't know. We would have picked some up.
And everything.
We love.
Yeah.
We love.
I definitely did not get this at Broadway Trivia League. They sent this with the mass amounts of gin that they send Michael and I every week.
Oh my God. Sponsored by Avian. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is let's do the lemon next. So you're going to cut your lemon in half. And then if you have a fancy lemon squeezer like we do, you can just put it in there. Otherwise, you're going to have to go by hand and try to catch the seed. Well, you don't have to catch the seeds because they're going to go.
You're going to strain it anyway.
Yeah.
Seeds and all.
Seeds and all. Just
it's roughage. It's good for you.
You want the full lemon squeezed in.
That's 1 whole lemon. Oh my God, I have to double everything. This is so many lemons.
So many lemons.
Have either of you boys started watching Amy Schumer Learns to Cook?
No.
No, wait. What is? Tell me immediately.
It's on the Food Network. It's on at 10 o'clock on Mondays. And her husband's a chef. So they're like quarantined and their like nanny / assistant is like filming the whole thing.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
It's hysterical. It's on at 10 o'clock on Mondays on the Food Network. And her husband, how I learned that if you're squeezing it without like a juicer or something, you need to catch the seeds.
Yeah, you do it with your hand.
But if you're using a cocktail shaker, it's not that crucial. Right. So then next,
we have the lemon. Are we all together with our lemon?
Everyone's set? Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to add your egg white. I'm going
to crack live on air, so let's see how this goes.
Everyone's going to demonstrate. We've prepped. We have our mise en place here.
We've been really into Top Chef All-Stars this quarantine, and I'm also cooking for my parents and us every night, and so I feel like I'm on an episode of Top Chef daily, where like stakes are really high, and if I mess up, I could go home.
And like when dinner's almost ready, he's like, We're ready. We got dinner's on the table. 1 minute. Everyone get in here.
Right. So my egg whites are going in.
Okay. This always makes me so nervous. Here we go.
The egg whites are what causes drinks to get foamy and fizzy when you do them.
A nice froth.
Yes. And then nice rosemary simple syrup. So what we did to make the simple syrup is we boiled equal parts water and sugar. So
we did a cup of sugar and a cup of water.
And then 3 sprigs of rosemary.
Just throw the rosemary in there, bring it to a boil, and then you can turn it down to like a medium low and just let it kind of simmer until the sugar is dissolved. And while it's simmering, you can press the rosemary with a wooden spoon to release the oils. Then you let it cool to room temperature. Then you strain out the rosemary, put it in an airtight container, and keep it in the fridge.
And you're good.
Now, if you're with us and you didn't make your rosemary simple syrup, the other thing you can do if you have rosemary is you can take an empty glass, add a dash of simple syrup and rosemary sprigs, and muddle that around. And then you'll dump that into the shaker as well.
That's great.
That's how you get rosemary in there.
Yeah. So that
simple syrup in the bottom of a glass, rosemary,
and just
muddle.
Pound it down with like the back of a wooden spoon. If you don't have a muddler, it's a good thing to use.
I think that's everything, right?
And then
how much of that simple syrup am I putting in?
Yes. So the official recipe calls for 1 ounce. I do find that to be a little too sweet for the Metzger-Timson palate, so we're doing a 1/2 ounce.
Okay, love
so
it.
It's up to you. It depends on how sweet you want it.
Got it. I have to go get that top of my shaker, but you guys shake away.
Okay,
we're gonna shake.
Well,
so we're shaking twice.
We're shaking twice.
So double episode, double guests, double shake.
Double shake. No ice. The first shake. First shake.
Okay. Oh, that's right. We've done this once before. So the no ice shake, the dry shake as they call it, is what makes the froth.
Yeah. So you're gonna do that.
All coming back to me now.
This shaker sucks. I'm gonna shake for like 10 to 15 seconds. Get it really frothy.
Oh
my God. I just don't think it's on there right, honey.
No, it is. But
no, mine's doing the same thing. It gets excited.
Then
that's because the egg is getting all frothed up.
Open it up. Make sure it's nice and frothy. We got a nice froth. Let me show you. Add in the ice to the shaker.
I'll be right back. I gotta get a paper towel.
I'm making a mess over here. I don't know about y'all.
Did they all explode? Is that what happened?
It's just, it's exploding
the water out.
I'm shaking more.
You don't want the water in there.
So woo!
It gets a little exciting with the egg whites. Okay, so we got to show them.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
I am about to do the.
Getting a towel.
We're getting a towel.
This is the first.
Shaking with egg whites, y'all.
So we shake it. We shake our concoction with no ice.
Okay.
So it's nice and frothy.
Mine looks very frothy. I'm impressed.
Now you're going to add the ice to the shaker.
Okay. All right.
And then you're going to give it another good shake for 15 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds.
Get it nice and cold.
Get it nice and cold.
All right. I'm going to put my paper towel around it this time.
So then, after you've shaken with the ice, you're going to shake it all the time. Okay, so you want a tall glass filled with ice.
Fresh
ice. So you pour it through the strainer in the thing onto the ice.
Woo! But you don't fill the glass all the way because we're going to top with club soda. So go like 3/4 of the way.
Yeah. And then, how are we doing, boys? We're making a mess?
Yep, making a huge mess.
Guys, I did not read the packet before today's.
I don't know why this is suddenly so messy. I think it's the double shake.
The double shake. Well, we were also making a double batch, so it got extra messy.
I'm like covered in. I smell like a summer dream.
Oh no!
What?
Michael has a habit of his shaker like being crazy sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, mine looks amazing though.
Yeah,
and then you top it. Once it's in the glass, you're going to top with the club soda of your choice. So we're going to top with our blackberry concoction,
which gives it like a nice, like double, like a layered color to it. Which I love.
Oh my God, I'm so impressed with us.
Garnish with a rosemary sprig, a lemon.
Can you guys see how good this looks? I haven't even garnished yet.
Oh my God, delish!
That looks so good.
We are straight out of Counting magazine here, boys. Bon appetit, if you will.
Cheers. Oh, Dylan's shaking, but he'll get here.
We're waiting for Dylan.
Okay, I'm waiting. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. Ah!
Of course, we have to wait, Dylan.
We don't want to be rude.
Oh my God, that your little float on top looks amazing.
How much
we're getting some judgment in the comments. Yes, Kelly, it's very messy. How much gin?
2
ounces.
2 ounces.
2 shots.
Amazing.
I mean, but let's be real. All gin is my gin of choice. Yes.
I agree.
All right, guys, I'm having a hard time. I'm stuck.
I know, it's the worst.
Stuck on.
Dang it. Hit the metal
hit.
part against the edge of the table.
Magic.
Professional bartender knowledge right there.
He was a bartender back in the day.
Sure.
Cheers.
Dylan's
And this is the
getting
summer
there.
cocktail.
Summer
This
cocktail.
is a very summery cocktail. It smells so good. Cheers.
Cheers. I'm gonna give her a taste.
Cheers, everybody.
Mm.
Oh my God, that's so good.
So refreshing, right? It's kind of like a gin lemonade, right? Like basically what
I have to tell you, I had doubts about the Rosemary Simple Syrup. I was like, maybe it's not enough rosemary. Maybe it won't work. And it's so delightful.
It's so delightful.
It adds an herbaceousness, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
We've
I think
been really experimenting with herbs in our cocktails here. We've been doing some basil, some mint. Like we've been really
last
like
night
going
we
for
did.
it.
We're infusing tequila currently. We have a cucumber infused tequila that we made. So I took and I muddled it with fresh watermelon and basil and some simple syrup and had like a cucumber, watermelon, basil tequila delight.
So she's getting fancy over there.
We're getting very fancy.
Spend the time somehow.
Yeah,
we love a house infusion here.
True. It's true. I don't know if you've heard about our house infusions before. I feel like I just
talking about them. Do you have one going right now?
I have a blueberry vodka, which I've been remaking.
Ooh, that's delightful.
And over.
I made jalapeno tequila. Did a jalapeno tequila recently, but I also did a strawberry basil vodka that I was particularly excited about.
Ooh.
Joke's on me because it just tasted like pizza. It was like weird. I was like, this is super weird. I don't think I want my vodka to taste like pizza.
Like pizza.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't want my vodka to taste like pizza. I don't think.
The tequila, however, was delicious.
Yes. And Michael and I used to make pineapple infused vodka as well.
Yes. Well, remember Vlada in the city that used to have all those giant jars of the
It was so good.
Do I? I miss Vlada all the time.
R.I.P. Vlada.
So did you know that Vlada was the name of the Russian woman that ran the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that until...
I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
I had a birthday party at Vlada once.
Me too. My 20th birthday party was at Vlada.
Yeah. Oh, 20th.
Wow. I had a going away party when I was leaving to go on tour at Vlada, and the bartender, I was drinking Maker's Mark on the rocks all night, and he kept just refilling my glass when it would get like almost empty and not charge me because I was like, a young, cute 20-year-old, and I blacked out and had to leave my own going away party like an hour and a half in. Like,
oh my God.
Did you make it to tour on time? That's
I had a bus call the next
morning. You made it to the bus call. That's true.
The first time I went to Vlada was to be introduced to Slurp Sundays by today's birthday girl, Paige Turner. Happy birthday, Paige Turner.
Oh, happy birthday,
Paige Turner.
How about that?
I think Vlada is the bar where during our first Pride together, the bartender told me that if I took off my shirt and I let him glitter bomb me, I would drink for free all night. So I said,
sure. We both did it. We were like,
I know exactly who that is.
I know exactly which bartender that was as well. Robbie Roselle wants to know more about this pineapple vodka. Robbie, it's inspired by Ivy Bar right here. Remember bars? Remember when we could go to bars? But you literally just put pineapple in a jar and add a ton of vodka and let it sit for like a week. And it is the most delicious thing I've ever tried. And you will have no idea that you're drinking alcohol.
Yeah, that's basically how you infuse anything. Just put it in a jar, let it sit there for a week.
The worst part is like we were so excited to make this pineapple vodka, and then like we were like, okay, well now what do we drink for the next 7
week?
days?
That's confusing.
I know we've been counting down the cucumber. We opened it a little soon yesterday. I think it'll get better as it ages.
We did it on Monday.
Yeah.
The best infusions are the ones you forget about. But it's hard, especially in a pandemic. I feel like it's hard to forget about the infusion. But like, if you ever like have tried to infuse tequila with like any sort of herb or anything, and you put it in the back of your fridge, and like 3 months later, I'm like, what is this? It's like the best little present.
Oh
yeah,
that happened with you with that jalapeno tequila. It was in there for like 6 months.
Ooh, that had to be so good when you pulled that out.
It was spicy.
It was good. She's a bop.
Did you leave the seeds on the jalapeno when you infused it?
Yes, we did.
Good.
It was,
That's what the seed is.
Yeah. And never strained it, I don't think.
Oh, gosh. That would have been so much for me.
She was spicy.
I like spicy. We had Jen Cody on the show this week, and she did an actual like spoonful of jalapeno juice right into the margarita.
Yeah, you did margaritas straight up.
Yes.
Margaritas.
Spicy jalapeno deliciousness.
Delish. Well, Jen Cody's a little spicy herself, so that's like a good cocktail.
She's very spicy.
She said that would be her her drag name would be Spicy Margarita.
I love that.
That's the sister to Leslie Margarita.
Like spelled the same way.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so good.
That would be really funny. I'm into that. Whenever we get back to normal, we'll make that happen somewhere.
It'll one of these days. Boys, we never asked you, where are you coming to us from today?
This is not a Zoom background. We are actually outside.
We have
jealous.
So jealous. It's so gross here.
California. We're in the OC, if you will.
Oh my God, jealous. How is it out there?
Driving in the sun. Well, it's really nice weather, and we're living with my parents. So
yeah, love it.
Going well.
Because if you're going into a pandemic, don't go to Long Island. Go to California.
Exactly.
Yeah, we came out here like mid-March, like a week after. So Broadway shut down on my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then Chris was like, that's okay. I still have a job at the restaurant. And then restaurants closed down.
Like 3 days
and
later.
they were like, And then like, that's the time that everyone was like, New York's going on full lockdown. You're not going to be able to leave your apartments. You're not like, it was like panic. Remember those like few days?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
All right, well, let's just go to California and wait this out. So it's been nice. Today's kind of cloudy, but most of the time it's nice. But it's better for the lighting for us.
Yeah. I mean, you look very luxurious with this lighting.
Ooh,
any plans?
Luxurious.
Any plans to come home? Or are you guys just camping out?
No. There's plans.
There's plans. There
are plans.
Yeah. We don't have a date set, but sometime next month. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. We're monitoring the New York situation once we feel like it's,
Yeah.
It's
Things are looking up, and it looks like in the first half of June we should be starting.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. We're going for like the beginning of a little bit more normalcy, maybe. We'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask, like, what is bringing you kind of joy or a sense of normalcy or any sort of smiles during this crazy time? But I also I feel like I know one of the answers because I see it 4 times a week.
4 times
a week at 9:00 Eastern time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So when we were packing to come to California, Kevin's like, we are just bringing the essentials. Like we're, pack like only what we need, like just clothes and like whatever. And I was like, looking around the apartment, I'm like, what should we bring? And I picked up this book that I've never opened called the Broadway Musical Quiz Book. And I was like, we need this. And so in our 2 suitcases, I was like, we have to have this book. And so we got to California, and on the very first night, I was like, I think it'd be fun to do trivia on Instagram live and just see what happens. Like it was before a lot of the live things had started, and I didn't know what we were getting ourselves into.
You guys were the first, and then we were like, it's working for them, so let's try it on Instagram Live. So we started just reading each other the questions from the book, which turned out to be hilarious. And well, the problem was the first night we did it, we chose the Patti LuPone chapter, and Chris read it to me, and I knew all of the answers, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's it's so easy. And then we would get to chapters, and it's actually a really hard book.
Yeah, it'd be musical in the 1930s, and you're like, oh, So it was challenging, but then we kind of exhausted all the fun chapters from the book. So we moved on to season 2, where we started introducing guests like the Quarantini.
Mm-hmm.
And now
you both have been a guest on it.
Yes, you've both been a guest, which has been so fun. And now I make up the questions, and we've also added an audio portion where it's pick a role, and it's name that alphabet. Well, we haven't done alphabet yet, but that would be fun. Name that Glinda, or name that Sally Bowles. When we play the same clip from all the different ladies.
It's fun.
Yeah. Obsessed. And that's where they can find it, right? At cmt.nyc is where you go live.
NYC. It's my Instagram. Every Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time.
9 p.m. Eastern. Yeah.
Eastern time.
Which is not the time that you're in, right?
No, it's 6 o'clock for us, so it's perfect. It's right before dinner.
Yeah. It's we usually can hold out to start drinking until then, except for today.
And, it's wonderful. Sometimes there's cameos from my parents who come out to the backyard and try to talk to us while we're on the air.
It's really fun.
That's always great. That's always great.
Yeah.
We've had some really fun guests, and it's definitely been keeping us occupied and giving us something to look forward to every day, as I'm sure you relate.
We can definitely relate. Also, this originally started, I'll tell you why this broadcast actually originally started. And it's because when things started to get serious here in the city, some very basic person posted on their Instagram being like, boyfriend and I like escaped quarantine. It was day 1 of quarantine. Day 1. Boyfriend and I like escaped quarantine for a quick quarantini, like picture of him and his boyfriend at a bar. And I went on like an Instagram rant. And I was like, a quarantini is only a thing if you serve it to yourself in your own home. And I was like so angry. And then that day I was like, let's go on Instagram Live and make a quarantini and stick it to the man.
And 75 days later, here we are.
You know that if Vinyl was still open, we'd come out of this and they would have a drink on their menu called the Quarantini.
Oh, 900%.
Absolutely.
I bet you a lot of places will when they come back.
If they don't, they're doing something wrong.
Obviously. What was that other bar in Hell's Kitchen that was like all martinis?
Do you love how this has just turned into like a nostalgia trip down the bars of Hell's Kitchen? We're very niche, I've learned in the
a martini bar in Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, it was okay. It was like a lounge martini bar, and it was next to
Are you talking about the one
next
martini?
to the Snug?
Vintage.
Vintage.
It was called Vintage.
Yeah. Is that what you said? No.
No, I said Blada as a joke.
You said Blada, yeah, Vintage. That's what it was called. It was like all
yeah.
Good times.
Fun fact about my life. This one's so old that you can't see it, but my second apartment in the city was above the Snug. And every night I would take my last drink home with me. And all of my pint glasses are Snug pint glasses. But like there are various degrees of like still visible on the cup. Most of them have faded. But all of my pint glasses are from the Snug. What?
That was like my thing when we were on tour. I remember like I had like this thing where I was like, take the glass with us. Just the empty glass. Put it in your purse and let's take it.
You're crazy. I would be like, I'm so embarrassed. Don't
souvenirs.
There was a time at Characters where I would do that.
Take the cup?
Or if I was still at work, I would just walk it across the street. And there was this really one time we were cleaning up the dressing rooms upstairs, and my intern was vacuuming something, I think one of the dressing rooms, and they found a Characters menu.
Like in the dressing room.
In the dressing room, and now it lives on my desk in the office.
Oh my god, I love that.
I've never had a bad time at Characters. I'm just gonna say
our very last outing in the city was at Characters.
Yes, I remember. I was supposed to visit.
It was the night that Broadway shut down.
Mm-hmm.
March 12th, Kevin's birthday. Never forget.
Thrilling.
6 opening.
The 6 opening. Oh no!
There's an amazing photo that we have of like my entire office, because like we left the office at like 4:30 that day, because like what else were we gonna do? And we have a photo of us taken in the lobby of our building, and all of us are just like holding garment bags with like our outfits, like looking sad, like going home. I bought a kilt. I was like ready to go for this 6 opening.
Oh.
I like spent weeks planning my outfit. It was so sad, but it's hanging in the closet, and when Broadway comes back, it will make an appearance. I didn't bring it to California, otherwise I'd be wearing it right now.
Of course, because you only brought the essentials.
You've just given me something to look forward to. So you guys, you heard it here. Broadway's coming back, and Kevin's wearing a kilt, and you've got something to keep you going now.
So speaking of essentials, it's essential that we play a game with you.
Ooh, we love games.
And the game that I chose to play with you guys is a game that I would like to call MT Trivia. Whoa! And this is all Tony Awards editions.
Oh,
so this is all questions about Tony Awards.
Oh my gosh! All right, we just did a Tony Award episode, so I hope I know some of the answers.
Wait, what?
We just did a Tony Award episode like a week ago, so I'm like, maybe I know some of the answers. Fingers crossed.
Okay.
And we're gonna do a brief pause between the asking of the question and the answering of the question to see if anyone in the comments can scoop us.
Yeah, please. If we know the answer, this is what we do. We'll say we know it if we know the answer, and then we'll wait and see what happens.
Great.
We'll see. Okay, let's start with the best one. We'll start easy and we'll get harder.
Okay.
Which Broadway musical production has the most Tony nominations? And how many?
I know it. I think.
I'm having flashbacks to when I was the guest on MT Trivia. And I'm so bad at trivia.
What theme did we do for you, Michael? Was it just like the
Mama Morton's and things that I don't know?
Mama Morton's.
You were with us on that technically difficult day.
Oh, yeah.
We still had to do the game. Are we allowed to tell us when we're allowed to guess?
I say go for it.
It's Hamilton, isn't it?
And how many?
I think they got like, I think it's like 14 or 15.
I want to say 14.
I want to say 14 too.
Final answer?
Yeah.
16.
Oh,
Ooh.
16. I knew they had, see, here's the thing. I know that they have less Tonys than the producers, which has the most Tony Awards, but they had more nominations.
Did the producers have 14 nominations? Did we look that up?
Maybe.
No?
This is what they do to me on trivia. They're like, here's this other question I have for you that you don't know the answer to.
Alex Carter Van Pelt, I believe there are only 18 like musical Tony, like Tonys that you can get for musical.
If you win, wow. So that's
well, Hamilton did well because a lot of them were doubled. They had like two or
correct.
three.
Yeah, because like leading man was doubled and like featured actress was doubled. A lot was doubled for that. So next question is, which musical production has the most Tony wins and how many?
Well, I already said that.
We said it.
It's the
But
producer.
how many?
They have
But
12.
how many? They have 12. Yeah.
They have 12.
Yeah.
And there's still in our office, there's still Drew Jamson gave them all brooms, all the producers' brooms with all their Tony Awards, and it says, "We sweeped."
Oh, that's cute. I love that. We were just saying, we talked about this on MT Trivia, I think last night or the night before, but I'm obsessed that producers has 12, which is the most, but it is possible to beat it because they didn't get Best Leading Actress in a musical because there was no leading actress in that
Correct.
show.
You are correct.
So it is possible to beat the
producers.
Because the owners of 54 Below produced the producers, I'll never forget that morning when we like were all in the office and he just goes, "But they can't beat us, right?" And they couldn't.
They couldn't.
They can't.
They couldn't. They could have matched it with 12, but they could not have.
Right.
Next question is, which performer has had the most Tony Award nominations?
We just talked about this. It's Julie Harris. Right? No.
No, she has the most awards. Julie Harris and Audra McDonald are tied for the most awards.
Chita Rivera.
If you count her special Tony.
Chita Rivera is tied with somebody for this. Julie Harris.
Oh,
right?
Julie. Yeah, sorry, it's not Audra. Yeah, Chita Rivera has 10 Tony nominations.
Yes, that is correct.
Yes,
Ding, ding, ding.
and I believe as well.
Who?
I think she's 10
But
too.
for plays, Julie Harris.
Julie Harris, right?
No, I think you're confusing. She's the one tied with Audra. Maybe.
She's tied with Audra for
The having
wins,
win.
except for she has one special Tony, and Audra has all wins for actually winning.
Yes.
There you go.
My next one, which musical, because this is all MT trivia, which musical revival has the most Tony nominations?
Most nominations?
Most nominations, right?
Yes, most
I know.
nominations.
We're gonna let the audience do it, but I know it.
say the question one more time, Dills.
Which which Broadway musical revival has the most Tony nominations?
We've talked about this on the show, and I don't remember the answer.
You don't remember? I do.
I feel like I do, but we'll see. If anyone in the audience knows it, now is the time to jump in there.
And I did a second, and then when I heard the answer, I was like, duh. Oh, I know. I remember.
All right, say it.
Kiss Me Kate.
It's Kiss Me Kate.
Yes, the 2000 revival of Kiss Me Kate. And how many nominations did they get?
10. 11?
12?
12.
12. Oh, gosh. All right.
All right, and which musical revival won the most Tony Awards?
I know this one, too. Do we know? We got a few guesses. Oh, that was for the last one.
Yeah.
People were guessing Cabaret, Carousel.
Yeah, it's unclear how long the buffer is. We're not really sure.
That's so annoying on our show, too. It's like you want to give them a chance to say like their answer, but it's like you're waiting for so long.
Right.
The answer is South Pacific.
Yes, the 2008 South Pacific. And
Pacific.
how many nominations?
Oh, I don't know about noms, but they have.
Oh, sorry. How many wins? You're right. That was the question.
Ooh, is it 6? I want to say 6.
8?
8.
7.
7.
All right, just a few more. Which theater housed the most Tony Award-winning musicals or plays?
Tony Award-winning.
Ooh, which theater has the most Tony-winning plays or musicals?
I feel like it's either like the St. James or the Schubert.
That seems about right. Kevin's the theater name expert. I'm like so bad with theater names. I can't even like point them out on a map sometimes. I'm so bad. So I'm gonna.
Or maybe the Richard Rogers. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say Richard Rogers.
Michael, do you have an answer?
I do not have an answer.
The answer is Richard Rodgers.
Oh, okay. I was going to go Schubert just for fun, but yeah.
I think it was the Schubert up until whatever one before Hamilton. But I could be wrong.
In the Heights one, and that was
maybe In the Heights was the winning.
The
winning show for that theater. All right, and then last question. How many times in Tony history have there been a tie?
Ooh, that's a good question.
There's a lot of them.
Thank you.
The most shocking to this day tie will always be The Sound of Music and Fiorello.
Fiorello in 1960 for Best Musical. Yep.
Oh,
that's one of...
Crazy. One of, I want to say it's like 10 or 11.
Okay. Kevin?
I'm going to say 10.
It's 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other one, I was going to mention that one. And the other one was like, I was going to Quarantini. The other one I was going to mention was The New Girl in Town. Gwen Verdon and Thelma Ritter were the two leads, and they both won.
They both won, and they were the two leads of the show. It'd be like
yeah, it would be as if Glinda and Elphaba won. Could you imagine?
Can I imagine a world?
Can you imagine?
In a world.
In a world. Wait, I have one for you that we just did last night. This is good. Tony trivia. So there are only 4 musicals that have won the big 6 Tonys, which is Best Musical, Best Book, Best Score, Best Director, and Best Leading Actor and Leading Actress.
Okay.
They call it the big 6. Do you have any idea what those 4 musicals are?
I feel
only
like
4 ever.
Only 4 ever, and one of them is
recent.
The last 5 years.
Yeah,
but it's not the last 5 years.
But it's not the last 5 years.
Kevin,
right there with you.
Blondes think alike.
We'll go for the most recent, just because, like, you know, it's.
It was Hamilton. No.
It didn't win the actress because of Cynthia Erivo.
Oh, thank God. Okay. You heard it here, you guys. Erivo.
And it can't be a revival.
Yeah, obviously.
Because Book and Score are in there.
Right. So recently, a musical.
It won the big 6. Both leading
in the last 5 years?
I want to say, yeah, right? Last 5? Yeah.
I don't know what show you're thinking about.
Oh, shit. What won that year?
Certainly in the last 5. In the last 7.
Since 2015?
Yeah. Yeah. Last 5 years. Jamie is over and Jamie is over.
Any guesses? No?
I mean, you only have 5 shows to choose from. They won Best Musical. So
I know, but I can't remember.
Let's do best musicals backwards.
Okay.
Right. So the last Tony Awards was Hadestown, but they didn't get a.
Ava Noblezada didn't win.
Correct.
So Stephanie J. Block did.
Yes! Thank God! Oh my God.
So it wasn't that. 2018 was.
Dear Evan Hansen?
Nope.
No, that was 17.
17. 18 was. Oh God.
18.
What was the reigning best musical right before Hadestown?
I'm just trying to think of where I was.
It was the year after Dear Evan Hansen won.
Right.
This is why you can't think of it.
Band's Visit.
And Band's Visit is.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It won the big 6.
So it won musical, book, score. David Cromer won, and Katrina and Tony
directing. Yeah,
that was the year I was at the Tonys. And if you were not British, you were not in the Band's Visit, you did not win.
You were over.
Why? What won Revival that year? What won Revival in 18?
Oh, Once in the Silent.
Once in the Silent.
Oh.
But that was
that one. But that's like that's one of the exceptions.
But they only won that award.
But it was like All Angels in America. It was all Band's Visit. And Harry Potter. Like that's all it was.
It was Harry Potter year.
Yeah. Because I was at the Tonys that year, and every person I was like, I feel like I'm at the Olivier's because all I hear is British accents.
There is a YouTube channel. It's like Gooch Pooch or something like that is the name. But if you Google, like, they have all of the complete Tony Awards going back to like the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
online. So like if you search like 1998 complete Tony Awards, this whole account will pop up. And I watched the 98 Tony Awards in full yesterday when like Audra won for Ragtime and Lion King won.
It was such a good year.
But the gag is
that's the first Tonys I've ever watched.
Me too. It's like it's such a special one.
Mm-hmm.
Ragtime performance, but Natasha Richardson wins for Cabaret, and she like Marin Maisie and like all of these like established actresses. She gets up for her speech, and she's love Natasha Richardson so much. She was so brilliant in the role, but she gets up and she starts like, the first thing she says is like, this is such an honor because I've like never done musical theater before ever. And I could just feel the women in the audience.
It's like Catherine Zeta-Jones style. You're like, oh,
yeah.
Die.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, that win.
R.I.P. So the other three big six winners are Hairspray.
Is Book of Mormon one of them?
No, because they didn't have a woman.
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, Nikki M. James is featured.
It's Hairspray.
She beat Patti LuPone.
Nikki M. James, the most lucky woman.
South Pacific.
The OG.
What was the other one?
Well, if you don't remember the answer,
I don't remember the answer. South Pacific. It's
not Fiddler on the Roof.
I gave Hello Dolly and Fiddler were my choose decoys. It's not the answer, but so is South Pacific.
We'll text it to you.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, figure it out. Speaking of all of this musical theater trivia, you can catch Kevin and Christopher Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Let me put my banner back up.
Ooh,
you got a banner.
Dylan sent me
the word. Yes. Okay, good.
It was Thursday. Dylan sent me a private message being like, "You've misspelled the word Thursday."
Wait, and the best part about that private message is I spelled the word spelt wrong.
Well, listen, this is the backstage. This is your glimpse backstage here at the 5:30 Quarantini. Christopher and Kevin are live Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. at cmt.nyc with musical theater trivia.
Yes.
Boys, thank you so much for being our guests today. And thank you for introducing us to the Rosemary Gin Fizz, which I am now out of.
Who knew?
I'm going to be drinking them all night.
Same.
So good.
Watch out if you feel free to text or call me.
Flirty.
Yes. All right, boys. We love you so much. Thank you for joining us. And we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, those were our special guests, Kevin and Christopher Metzger-Timson.
What a fun day.
I'm obsessed with both of them. I love them both, and I also love this drink so much. We need to
I told you,
so I can make
the Rosemary Simple Syrup is like...
It's what we call a game changer. Dylan and I are back tomorrow at 5:30, as always. Tomorrow's special guest will be breaking down the drinks with us.
I hate that. And then we went back to one of the episodes and I was the one that said that first.
Well, it's going to be Natalie Weiss, and we're going to be here tomorrow at 5:30, and I'm going to keep saying that cringy phrase because I love it.
Breaking down the drinks.
We love you all. Thanks for hanging out. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
And we will see you tomorrow. Cheers.
Yes.